Love him or hate him, Dave Ramsey is a financial guru by any means, making more millionaires than anyone has within the financial space. Some things with him, I really do agree. Some things, it's kind of a stretch. And today we're going to be covering one that I absolutely agree with, which is vacation splurging. Now, overall, being in the financial space, being in a credit union, we have seen an incredible amount of people that come in and borrow an exorbitant amount of money to go on vacation. We are talking $5, $10, $15,000 just to go on that vacation, meaning that they're going to spend the next 5 years paying for a vacation that they might have took today. That is really not the way you need to be doing this. We need to be budgeting this. So let's go ahead and break it down. Number one, paying for flights when you could drive. Now, if your destination is just a couple hours away, it is a lot easier to get into the car to really remote travel and drive there versus the cost of flights, especially nowadays where flights are super expensive. Usually, if you're going 3 or 4 hours driving is pretty good. When you start getting extended past that, I feel like it can be a little cramped, but a lot of people, if you think years ago, used to drive from Michigan, where I live, all the way down to Florida on a regular stint and back and forth and back and forth. And it used to be the alternative or the real only method of travel. But since airfare has gotten a lot cheaper, people that do travel an exorbitant amount of distance will just find it better to fly. But overall, again, if you're a couple hours away, you can go ahead and fly. Second one we look at is staying too long on the vacation. When you start getting into 5, 7, 10 days, for a majority of people, that is not only an extended amount of time of going on that vacation, but it also is a very big extension of the expense of the vacation itself. Now, if you're getting to the point towards the end of the vacation where you're finding you're starting to accumulate a lot more credit card debt than you thought, or if you didn't properly budget, it means that you could be staying on that vacation a little bit too long. Now, in addition, taking a few days just at home, away from work, being able to decompress, this has been something that me personally has found super, super valuable when it comes to ending a vacation. Let's say on a Saturday, you have Sunday to relax, you have it to recoup, put everything kind of reset, even get everything washed, cleaned up, getting ready for that Monday, not going right back to work the next day right after a long vacation. Number three, eating out on every single meal. This, of course, not only are restaurants very expensive, when you start eating 3 meals a day when you're on the road or when you're at a resort, luxury dining out can be ultra expensive, meaning you're dropping $200+ a day at a majority of places, which of course, most people don't put into the budget. If you're getting food in the hotel, you can find it a lot cheaper if you leave the hotel or the resort, depending on where you're at. But a majority of people use a ton and spend a ton on food. You can even prepare one meal, for instance, like when we go on vacation, we take something for breakfast, very easy, very convenient, possibly sandwiches like a quick lunch. And overall, when we eat out, if we eat out, it is usually just dinner and only dinner, keeping it from 3 meals all the way down to the one single meal that we can actually sit down and enjoy. Getting into number 4, purchasing the overpriced treats. This is pretty much anywhere. When you look at theme parks, when you look at attractions, they are known for making money on the treats and beverages that they do offer. Planning ahead, looking to get either things discounted or buying the meal plans that they have, loading up on water bottles. Some places we went were like $7 to $10 for one single bottle of water. Also looking to eat a little bit more at breakfast, possibly having a little bit of a larger meal. That way you're not going right in there and splurging on some of the food or some of the dining that they have, because a normal meal that'll cost you $12 or $15. Amusement park prices, you're talking $25, $30 for that same exact meal. Number 5, we look at souvenirs. Now, souvenirs, of course, can be really cool depending on what you get as a memory of the places that you've been. Majority of souvenirs go on a cabinet or a clutter or just actually go in the garbage. T-shirts, funny mugs, things like that nature. Most people either don't like to pack it, don't like to bring it home. If you're not collecting it, it's going to take up space. Essentially, there's going to be a point where you get rid of it. Reality is, when you get a stuffed frog, when you get an animal, a lot of places and a lot of things that they have are novelty items when you're there. Seems kind of cool in the moment, but spending up that extra money on the expensive souvenirs on every single trip you go on can really add up. Number 6, not looking for discounts on attractions. Now, because of the competitive space, using the internet, you can always find discounts for an incredible amount of things, especially if you're booking your trips in advance, if you're staying a certain amount of days, if you're staying during the week versus the weekends. There's a ton of discount sites if you're looking for airfare, if you're looking for resorts. You can even go to Groupon and look for discounts. There are a ton of different ways, and we use this as well. When we go to even locally CJ Barrymore's, you can actually go online and you can buy gift cards for the location, which a $100 gift card runs you about 60 bucks. You get $100 in credit. It only charges you 60 bucks when you're going on Groupon and buying them that way. Also, like I was saying, consider going to these attractions off of the peak hours. When we start going to some of the resorts, even during the winter, when you're looking at Great Wolf Lodge or Kalahari, chances are you can get 50 to 60% off those just because it is a colder season up north and it is kind of that off season. Number 7, trying to fit too many things in a daily activity. Now this, of course, depending where you're going, some people make an itinerary of exactly what they want to see, but really going through and picking out 1 or 2 real solid activities that are the 100% must not miss list. Instead of going in there with 10 or 15 things that you're just kind of rushing through and going along, you want to make sure that you're hitting all of those important things. Not only that is you can plan exactly where you want to budget your money. For instance, if you're going to Disneyland and you want to go to and see all of what Harry Potter has to offer, planning probably a day or 2 at minimum to go in there, but knowing that is exactly what you're looking for and getting souvenirs in there can be beneficial because you know and you budgeted exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you want to go home and be refreshed instead of exhausted, the more things you do when you go on your vacation, the more exhausted it is going to feel. When you actually get to the resort or the hotel room and you're absolutely just collapsing at the end of the night because you did too much, or a lot of, especially if you have children, legs are sore, they've moved too much, it's too much, you're rushing through the itinerary and you're moving a bunch or missing a bunch of things when you're actually going through instead of just enjoying what is there. When it comes to vacations and splurging on vacations, a lot of places that they are really a waste of money, but there is through planning and through really research. I know going into like Disney and a couple places like that, you can do an incredible amount of research and around exactly what you want to do. So really the big thing is making the vacation and making the memory, not really about the money. When you want to go on vacation, you need to save to go on that vacation. It is not the point where you're going to go overboard on spending. You want to make sure that you also keep it into check. Where if you're at a place for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is, if you're taking X amount of money, how are you going to break it up among those days to make sure that you're staying in that budget and you're not overstaying when you're in vacation? Now, for a lot of people as well, is they will make the exception and the budget will be canceled, thrown to the wind. They're just going to spend anything they want. And this can be absolutely detrimental for years in the future because you're still paying for the vacation, especially if you borrowed for it. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.